estás?
How do you say yarrow?
Welcome to How Do You Say Yarrows?
How do you say yarrow? How do you say yarrow?
It'll be all the fun in the world.
Hey guys, welcome.
To How Do You Say Yarrows?
Hey.
And today's a big deal because it is our 100th episode.
A 100.
We have made it 100. We are a century right now.
Oh.
We old.
Oh, cool. We keeping it 100.
Keeping it 100. 100.
Keeping it
100.
100.
100. Okay, I feel like we're going to say that a lot in this episode.
That's okay.
Yeah. But it's been exciting, and today we are going to talk about some of our favorite episodes, some of our least favorite episodes. Yes, there are ranking systems. Not really used, in more in my mind maybe than Gabby's mind.
Yep.
And also about what this podcast has meant to us.
I love that.
So, Gabby, what do you want to say? Where do we want to start? What it meant to us, favorite episodes, least favorite
Let's
episodes.
start with the rating of the episodes.
All right, let's talk about, do you have a top 2 or 3 favorite episodes?
You go ahead.
Okay, gotcha. One of my favorite episodes was still our first episode coming out of Ocean City,
Aww.
Maryland. It was our introduction. We were scared young newlyweds, not certain what to do yet, trying to mimic Andy Bernard.
How married were we at that point?
It would have been about a year, actually.
Okay, yeah.
But that was our first episode. We thought about it for a long time.
That's awesome.
It was very exciting to us.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Have you ever listened to it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? I'm also going to be a sucker. I love our travel specials.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah. So,
What travel specials have we done?
we've done Maine.
Yep.
The cruise.
Cruise?
Ocean City, kind of the
City.
initial. And then Disney twice.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Disney
Yeah.
twice. That's hilarious that we've done Disney twice.
Disney twice. Yeah.
Amazing.
One time Universal and Disney, one time just Disney.
You gotta count the kayak trip. That's a
And the kayak trip. I forgot the kayak trip.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, out of all of those, honestly, all my favorites are those episodes.
Aw.
I would have to rank. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to compare those.
No, it's impossible.
I think maybe the kayak is one of the most funny out of all of them, if anything.
Yeah.
Disney's are tied easily. Oh, and the cruise.
The cruise.
Yeah.
Maine. It's just so good.
Yeah.
It's so good. I don't know. I would agree with you. Those are definitely my top tier. I love that. Well, because I also love, like, part of the benefit / reason. I don't know reason. Actually, that's curious. Okay. I would say definitely part of the benefit of doing the podcast is that we get to, like, document our thoughts together about, like, a given whatever, given thing. Because it's kind of like almost like a video journal in some ways. Like,
It literally is a video journal.
well, it definitely is for vacations, but, like, when we talk about different topics, it still is for that too, because we're talking about our thoughts on a given topic at one time, and those do change. We'll listen back to something, or someone will mention something to us that we said in a given podcast, and there are times where I'll think, oh, that's funny, I don't know that I think that anymore, but I did then, obviously. So it's just kind of a cool documentation of how we perceive something at a given time. It's cool.
No, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's always an interesting thing with very interesting in terms of, like, okay, what does this mean? When does it mean that? And how does it change?
Yeah.
And that's where I do love some of, like, the travel ones, especially because that is like, we get to see family memories, and we'll have those. It feels like this is Gabby's way of getting me to document things too.
I know. I was not at all the plan with any of when we started doing a podcast together, but it is a huge, awesome benefit.
Yeah, and it really, the goal that I've always had with it too, at least for the travel, I'm sure it's nowhere near as good as those beautiful, perfect YouTube vloggers, although I love our videos. I wouldn't change, I would improve them, but it is like, okay, can we take time to narrate what we're thinking of in those moments, not just like recording like random 5-second clips, but okay, what did you think? How did you actually process that?
It is really fun. Yeah, that is really fun.
I'll throw out one of my other favorites.
Okay.
Going to Ricketts Glen when we went hiking on our hiking podcast.
gosh. Wow. Yeah, that's a good one.
Because we had tried to do this several years earlier,
We had.
but it was rainy. Gabby got super cold, and it was just a terrible day. We did not complete the entire hike.
That's right.
And this
Failed
is
attempt.
and it is an area of like, okay, like, you know, sometimes like, because it's not distance, it's like 5 miles total,
Mm-hmm.
but it is a gorgeous, beautiful place, and like, I want Gabby to be able to see all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
a really good one.
Continue
I
Yeah.
like that.
City Expressway.
Oh man, does any resonate with your soul?
I actually don't remember how this went, but I remember really enjoying doing it. So I don't know, I can't speak to the quality, but I remember really enjoying this topic. We did grocery shopping.
Oh,
food
we did
shopping,
grocery
right?
shopping, yeah.
And I do still want to add to that one actually, because I think we didn't video you in a grocery store.
Oh, we've got to do that.
Yeah, we have to do that because I loved that topic. I learned so much about you like in doing that one, and it was, you know, in being married, I've learned so much about Adam with grocery store shopping, just like how he attacks it, but also like it affects how I grocery shop. Like I still do it very differently. I get very distracted and all those things, but it's so funny to watch Adam do this task, and we absolutely, that's something we have to do. We have to add to that one, do like a part 2 where
That'd be so fun.
I follow Adam through a grocery store, and you have to see how he bags his items. It will change your world.
Well, yeah, because I was a Wegmans cashier for 9 years, loved it, great job. Still one of the greatest places I've ever worked. They're just, and that's not speaking bad about any other organization. They're just
great.
It's a great company. Which is weird to say for a grocery store, probably.
No, I don't think that's weird. I mean, it's impressive, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just like there's a strategy to how you bag it. You put similar items together,
You're
so that
giving
way.
the strategy away before the podcast.
Sorry, fine, we'll get there. Yeah. We'll get there.
Any other ones resonate to you?
You know, thinking through the ones, I really do have to say, I think the Florida ones were particularly epic in terms of all the ride footage that we captured, and like just that is so cool to me. We were able to get us on. Okay, we went on Harry Potter World, or we went into
beautiful.
Yeah, it was just so fun that and Disney was very cool. I mean, we have no deal with Disney. They're just not closely monitoring video cameras on rides. I also don't think they could do it. I think there's too many videos out there.
We were very safe.
Yeah, we were very appropriate. But I always thought that was just so fun, because that is like, those are great memories now to have.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I totally agree. Totally agree. I don't think I have a podcast that like stands out necessarily as one that I have as a least favorite, but I will say that I feel like so our main person of feedback, constructive criticism, I would say, is my brother Liam.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say is Liam.
He's one of them, and then we also have a few other regular contributors.
I love that.
Of not necessarily constructive feedback.
That's what I was saying, like literally for constructive. Specifically.
Talk about constructive feedback. You go there.
Specifically for constructive feedback, Liam has many times let us know certain things that we like do that we need to improve. A primary one being when we reference something and we say, we'll come back to that.
Not come back.
And like, I don't know, like come back to it, like reference, like discuss it in a future episode or something like that, I guess we'll do.
Yep.
And we're not very diligent about like remembering to do that. So that's fun. I don't know that we've improved on that. That's something that I try to remember.
You know, the only one that we really got caught up on that was the 30th birthday. That we got flack on.
Okay, that was the main one.
Yeah, because we had an original episode talking about birthdays.
Got it.
And that was kind of before your 30th birthday.
Got it.
And we said, after, because you knew, Gabby knew there was going to be a party for her 30th birthday.
Yep.
So that wasn't a surprise. It was just what was happening for it was a surprise.
Yeah.
So we were going to like recap afterwards all of it. Unfortunately, we didn't talk about that until like 2 years after it happened.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then another key piece of feedback he has had for us is when let's say we title an episode so you think you're going to be listening to one topic, and then we start talking and we will deviate. You know, we'll start talking about something else that leads us down a rabbit hole or something, and he's like, a pet peeve is when he listens to a lot of podcasts, and so he's like, well, if I'm tuning in and I think I'm going to listen to you talk about, I don't know, Backstreet Boys, and then midway through we're like many minutes in and you still haven't gotten talking about Backstreet Boys, I'm gonna be annoyed. So I was like, that's a good point. That I think we have improved on.
We've worked on
since
tightening
this
up
feedback.
that.
That's been an
but-
easier thing to try to work on.
I would also note that sometimes the show notes for any listeners, if you look down there, they might include that we talk about other topics.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
great.
So there are
That's
some
helpful.
disclaimers, but I do think Liam was very correct in his.
That's great. That's great. So
Yeah.
what were you gonna say about the contributors that have helped us?
I was going to say we have a few others that we just want to acknowledge at this point. Alyssa, I don't want to say your last name because obviously that could be inappropriate on
Good
something
call,
that's
good
stringed
call.
over. Went to college together. Just want to say thank you. You are the person that has emailed us the most.
Yeah, Alyssa.
And by that, you're like one of 2 people that have emailed us.
Yeah, Alyssa.
There's also a individual that emailed us from, how do you say, Algonquin? No idea who the person was, but it was so nice because it was the first and only purely like feedback emailed from somebody we don't know.
So cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was such a great email. We loved it.
Yeah.
I sent you one back. I don't know if you ever got it. If not, check your spam folder. We really did respond to that.
Yeah.
Or I maybe sent it to drafts, but
Oh,
I
no.
really did write a long response.
He did. He really did.
I was
We're
very
excited.
We were very touched by this. If that was you and you're listening to this, send us your address and we will send you a sticker.
Darn right, we'll send you a sticker.
We will only send one, so if you're not the first person, you're not getting one. So if somebody else lied about it.
Yeah.
Do you have any least favorite?
Any least favorite? No, I don't think I do. Do you?
Okay. Oh yeah, I think.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no,
What is it?
not a specific, but sometimes we might not always be obvious to those listening, but we've gotten to debates where it's too real afterwards. We move into it and we start getting a little too aggressive with
That's
each other.
so true. That's
So
so
it's
true.
not that we don't love a debate, but I think in the quest, and I will say it's particularly me, because I enjoy arguing. I try not to too much, but I can get mean of like trying to prove a point, especially if it is taking debate format.
We have definitely gotten into it. I can't remember specifics though. Can you remember any specifics?
Cash versus credit, I think, is one.
Cash versus credit. Oh, that's great. I remember that was definitely a fierce debate.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember.
Oh, man.
That was the one that
What is it?
immediately sprung to mind.
That's
I think
a good
it's.
one. That's a good one.
I think that's one of the key highlight ones.
Yes.
Ooh. I think End of the World podcasts were also on my list of favorites.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, when we talked about the end of the world and what that would be
That's
like.
just very interesting to us.
Oh yeah.
Just fascinating.
Yeah. And then of course we're talking about Baby Seth now.
Yes, of course. I love all of those.
Yeah. So I think those are some of the highlights that we have.
Yeah.
But now, and we talked about there aren't too many lowlights. I think our first ones we probably could have improved on compared to today.
Of course, always.
Yeah, but still like
It's
okay.
all good.
Yeah, I mean we were babies. Little babes.
It is.
But Gabs,
Yeah.
talking about all this, when I brought up favorites, least favorites, you eschewed that because you were saying there was something more meaningful to talk about, which is truthful.
Oh, I did. Before we talk about that, I do have one more. Do you have any favorite moments while podcasting? I'll say mine. I think my favorite one, it's happened a couple times in different variations, but my favorite way that it happened was when we were snowboarding.
Yep.
And we were like, pulled out the GoPro, saying something silly on the slope. And a kid came up to us, like a teen, maybe preteen even, like younger, and he was like, Are you guys famous podcasters? And it was so adorable. And we were laughing and we said, no man, like we're not. We do a podcast like for fun together, and he was like really cute about it. And we also, I think we looked more legit than we were. We were sitting at the top of the slope at that time, so we had not begun our descent.
Yeah.
So I think we looked a little more legit than we were. And so the kid was just really cute and was asking about that, and it felt very fun in the moment,
Yeah, agreed.
So that's like that's happened in different variations, but I thought the kid was really cute when he asked us.
Oh yeah, actually I'll throw out 2 other funny ones with that at least. Both were in Disney, although there was a cute time in Maine as well.
Yeah, that was cute.
But one of my favorite was there was a guy we were debating about donuts in line.
Oh, that was hysterical.
And the guy, there was it was us, our friends Brandon and Jess, and then there's this random guy giving us feedback, and he was mentioned in an earlier episode. He looked and he commented on our YouTube video. I remember.
No, he did
Yeah,
not.
he said, when would it be up? I said a couple weeks, and he found it and he wanted to see himself in it. He was awesome.
That's awesome.
But he was just a great spirit of like, hey, am I going to be on YouTube? And it was like, oh, I realized, oh man, do I have to cut this? And he was like, yeah, no, just what's your name so we could look it up.
That's so fun.
It was so fun. And then,
yeah, that's true. He was really funny. He gave some good feedback.
yeah, I was grateful.
During our donut time.
He really added to that content.
He really did.
Yeah, that great guy. I appreciated him.
Yeah.
And then we were in line in Universal. That event occurred at, the first one occurred
Hollywood
at
Studios.
Hollywood Studios. This occurred at Islands of Adventure. We made friends with the people right behind us.
Yeah.
In line, and they asked, and I think I'm Instagram friends with one of the individuals to this day.
Yeah.
But they were really nice, and they just asked, "Are you YouTubers?" And I mean, when people ask that, the answer is yes, because we do YouTube. And then we also fully disclose it has like 4 views per video. But for us, it's just so fun, and that kind of goes to the meaning of it.
Yeah.
You want to talk about your meaning here?
Okay. Yeah. So the meaning of like what the podcast means to me.
Yeah.
So I love, I think that I am not a very creative person in many ways, and as you get old, like when I was younger, like I'm not opposed necessarily to trying new things or anything, but I think as like a kid or a teenager, you're just exposed to more things like that. So it's like you go to school, all right, sure, like I'll do the thing at the club, like whatever, I'll go, like there's all these opportunities. But as you become an adult, like I think there are less opportunities sometimes to try new things, like unless you intentionally go seek them out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not necessarily going to be the person that's like avidly seeking out new experiences, unless like I'm on a vacation and then sure, like I want to do it, whatever. But you know what I mean? Like on the daily, I'm not necessarily going to do that. Like I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to do the stuff that I do. So for me, it's just been a really cool thing. Like the idea that as an adult, I could have a new hobby.
Yeah.
I think that's really fun, and that it's a hobby that me and Adam like to do together is really like a blessing to my life, that it's something that we can do together. It doesn't require a ton of planning. Adam honestly does like all the behind the scenes work, like as far as just even preparing the GoPro and stuff like that. So that's very easy for me, obviously, but it's just like something fun that we can do together. And then of course the documentation part of it, that I love to have snippets of like our life and our friends and our family in picture and sound. I mean, I love that.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Oh yeah.
I love that. It's my favorite. So yeah, I think it's that combination of, wow, this is so cool. I got to have a new hobby as an adult, and just continue to play with it, and then also just that meaningful documentation.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah. What about you? Anything else?
I think I've just loved that. I do love that it gives us an excuse to try new things, because sometimes like, oh, we could talk about that in the podcast.
Oh yeah.
So I do feel like that kind of gives us a little kick in the butt at times.
Yeah.
Of like, okay, even if it goes bad, this is a podcast episode right here. Like, it's fun.
Yeah.
But I do think it's cool for like, we're able to have memories for our kids, because we have it on YouTube, we have it on the podcast. I also have it all saved on like an external hard drive. I'm not going with the cloud with this. I want it on a hard drive.
Smart.
I don't know if that's smart or not. It really can be argued both ways. Mostly if you forget payments, the clouds. But anyway, but to me, I think it's just okay. We have memories and thoughts that if our kids want, they could listen, they can know, and that's really cool to me. I also do like the thought of like, I doubt we'll ever become like famous or influential for this, but I do like the fact that we get to kind of like just share our thoughts and emotions with the world, and our concepts, and very much of being our own. Sometimes you're not always able to just, this is purely ours.
That's
like
true.
there's nothing like
No agenda.
no agenda, no sponsor. We've still solicited for one, so I can be bought. Really not to endorse a product, but I would endorse Disney.
Of course.
If you Universal, Algonquin, Maine,
Of course.
GoPro. Everything is filmed on a GoPro.
That's right.
So we take very low budget here. Send us one. We'll shout you out every time. But I think those things are just like, okay, it's fun that we could be able to do this and also bring people into our world a little. Especially, like, I love doing it on vacation because it's, you know, I honestly zone out a lot. I have a hard time sometimes being present, and documenting this does help me be a lot more present because it's, okay, I'm intentionally creating a conversation. It keeps me off my cell phone. And somebody be like, well, you're still doing this? No, but we're doing this together. We're making a video. We're having fun. We're creating a memory.
It's interactive.
Yeah, it's interactive.
Absolutely.
So that always helps me of like, okay, staying a little more focused. And it's just, I enjoy doing it.
Yeah, you do a great job with that. Adam is great with the job.
Yeah, I'm
great
far
with the
better.
job.
Yeah, I'm not I love people. I'm an extrovert, but I am more task oriented. So sometimes doing this helps me actually like, okay, hopefully not too much, but like, what'd you think of that ride? Like, what was that like? It keeps the conversation.
That's such a good point. Such a good point. I love that. That's cool. That it's a little bit different, but they're both very complimentary. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So going on this moment, do you have the funniest episode that you think that anybody should watch? Last question in
Oh
here.
my gosh, funniest episode. Wow. I have no idea. Do you?
Oh, I think it's without a doubt our kayaking.
Oh, kayaking.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
when the
Yes,
tube
of
explodes.
course. We laughed the whole time in doing that. Like crying laughter, like absurd hilarity. That's gotta be the most. That's gotta be the funniest.
Oh, I also have to bring up the funny moments where we hit a bird. Or a bird hit us. It was
There was a bird hit.
you could hear a
during
thud.
driving.
Yeah, you could hear a thud on the windshield, and it was not our fault. The bird turned mid-flight.
It was crazy.
He was going across the street, and then all of a sudden, like halfway across, he decided, "Oh, I'm going backwards," and that killed him.
Oh.
I'm assuming he died from that.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, it felt terrible. We not intentional. We not interested in hurting an animal.
No.
But it was brutal.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. What do you have any future hopes for the podcast?
Oh, hopefully way more travel specials.
I love that.
So actually in August, hopefully we are going back to Ocean City. You know, we will have Seth with us at the time. So
have we said his name?
oh my gosh.
Ayo.
So his full name
Hidden
is
Nugget.
Seth
Leo.
Adam,
Yaros.
which also spells out Slay.
Slay, bae.
Yeah.
We're
So
going slay.
so we will be going there.
When
and
we're saying we're talking about our son.
yes. And
Our son.
our
Have you said
son.
that? Have you said that?
I
Our
think so.
Our child. Our baby.
Our
I feel like
progeny.
I've said our baby, my baby a lot. I don't know that I've said our son. That's really funny.
Our son is coming on up here.
Yeah.
And it's exciting. So he'll be joining us for that podcast. Assuming he cooperates, we're going to be going to Ocean City for a week.
Oh, yeah.
So Seth, be cool, bro. Be cool. Or we'll
got
mention
this.
that in a podcast.
He's got it.
But we could easily do some re-highlighting up there as well.
Yes.
Like go back to the ice cream parlor that we met.
Yes.
You know, see what it's like.
Absolutely.
Oh, so you're good there. You don't have to.
Yes.
But thanks for joining us on How Do You Say Yaros?
Yes, thank you guys. We're so excited. 100 episodes. Let's go.
100 episodes.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
Yo. In so many years, we'll be at 1,000 if we keep going at one per week.
Oh, wow.
That's in 20 years.
That's a lot of memory.
20 years?
Yeah. Sure.
No.
I don't know.
Oh, no.
I'm not doing the math.
52. We'll be at 1,000 episodes in better not to. I'm not able to do that and drive easily at the same time. A lot more kid
We'll be
challenges.
at a lot. Let's do it.
Thanks.